is the book club for kids.
The book club for kids.
It's the book club for kids.
It's the book club for kids podcast.
Hi, I'm Kitty Felde. What are you afraid of?
I'm only scared of two things, bees and spiders. That's all I'm scared of.
There's only one thing I'm scared of. The end of the world.
Yeah, me too. Our readers from Cienega Elementary School in Los Angeles talk about what makes a good scary story, and they share some of the folk tales they heard growing up. Our book this week is The Jumbies. It's set in the Caribbean and is full of scary creatures and a rather grouchy witch.
Everybody thinks they need magic. Everybody wants answers. They want magic from nothing.
That's our celebrity reader, actress Tamika Katon-Donegal. And writer Tracey Baptiste tells us how people in Trinidad protect themselves from Jumbies.
My mother would have us back into the house because a Jumbie can't follow you in front of your face. They have to follow you at your back.
This is the Book Club for Kids, the show where kids talk about books. Today we head out west to Los Angeles, so take it away, you guys.
Hello, my name is Brianna.
Hello, my name is Gloria.
Hello, my name is Salvador.
Hello, my name is Giovanni, and we were in 4th grade at Cienega Elementary School.
The Jumbies is about a little girl named Corinne who her mom died, and she turned out to be a Jumbie.
What's a Jumbie?
These little creatures, and there's many types of them.
A Jumbie is like a spooky creature that lives in a forest in a little island.
Are they good? Are they bad? Are they scary?
I don't think they're bad, just that they're really mad because that was their island first.
One of the Jumbies are the Sakuya. The Sakuya, sometimes at night, she's just like a regular old woman, and she takes off her skin, and she looks a little weird. And another Jumbie is that she turns into a fireball and goes everywhere.
Tell us about Corinne.
Corinne is a little girl that she's brave, and she always likes to take risks.
At first in the book, she didn't have friends, and then she met friends in the forest, and the friends helped her with doing stuff.
She likes to go on everywhere. She's not afraid of anything, and she can conquer anything.
Let's hear a scene from the book where Corinne and her friends visit a witch to ask for help with the Jumbies. Our celebrity reader is the wonderful actress Tamika Katon-Donegal.
Everybody thinks they need magic. Everybody wants answers. Get rid of this boil. Help me find money. She doesn't love me anymore. Why won't my cane stalks grow as tall as my neighbors? Everybody wants a fast, easy solution. Maybe if you took care of your skin, you wouldn't have gotten the boil in the first place. Maybe if you worked harder, you would make more money. Maybe that person isn't the right one for you. Maybe if you found a better way to farm, your crop would come up better. But nobody wants to hear those things. They want a bottle, instant success, something to drink or sprinkle or spill on the ground. They want magic from nothing. Magic doesn't come from nothing. It comes from somewhere. And it isn't so extraordinary. It's just work. It's just using your head and your heart. She grabbed a seed and put it on the table, then grabbed a cleaver and hoisted it into the air. The children shrank back. She brought the cleaver down on the seed, slicing it in two. Look, see what's inside? Nothing. It's just a seed. But put it in the ground and water it and give it what it needs, and something extraordinary happens. A seed is a promise. A guarantee, Corinne added, remembering her mama's words. She closed her eyes, and this time she could almost hear her mother speak. The real magic is in what you do with it, the witch said. She put the two halves of the seed into Corinne's hand. It grows roots. It becomes hard to break. You feel it growing. You see when it's about to sprout and bud and bear fruit. You can feel it inside you. You know it like you know something is watching you from the shadows. It's instinct. This is your magic. Mine is of no use to you.
Well, let's talk about the idea of Jumbies. Had you guys ever heard of Jumbies before?
Not in my life.
I think it's just a folktale that just takes place in a little island that might still be people in there, and maybe there might be a Jumbies.
Tell me about the folk tales you guys heard growing up.
This Spanish myth, and it's called La Llorona, and my mom always would tell me that, and it would be so scary. She would turn off the lights, and she was telling that she would make noise with the cabinets and everything, and it would scare me and my brother, but we still wanted to hear it.
There is this creature, like the zombie called the chupacabra, that likes to eat sheep in the night in Mexico.
I heard of this story called the Bloody Mary. One time there was a little girl and went into the room. It was all dark, and so she got a candle and she said Bloody Mary 3 times, and the lady came out and scratched her face and she started bleeding.
I heard about this story that these people just pretend that they have a baby, and they say baby blue 12 times. They will feel the baby and something will happen to them.
Do you guys believe these stories that you hear?
When I was little, I believed everything my mom told me until I got bigger and I found out, and then I say them to my cousins and stuff, and I'll make them scared now.
Not really.
I do believe them because I heard it in the radio, and it was so like stuff that I hear in the radio. I think it's true, so I think it's true sometimes.
I think it's true because I remember when I was little, my brothers always used to go to the bathroom and say stuff about scary things like the baby blue and the Bloody Mary.
Why do we like to be scared?
I like to be scared sometimes. I'm only scared of 2 things: bees and spiders. That's all I'm scared of. I like to be scared sometimes because it's like gets me so creeped out, and like I want to find out what's next and stuff.
I like being scared because sometimes it makes me laugh at the same time and cry at the same time with joy. And also, one thing I'm scared of is the end of the world. That's only one thing I'm scared of.
Why are you afraid of the end of the world?
Because probably no one will be here in the world, and only probably me will be alive.
That seems unusual to me. Why do you think you worry about that?
Because it just scares me, and I feel sometimes sad whenever I hear about it and stuff like that.
I love being scared sometimes. Like, it's fun, and like, when they do pranks, I kind of get scared. Like, they tell legends, and I believe them. So like, I love being scared and all that.
I love to be scared because sometimes I cry and go to my room, and sometimes I don't. And some things that I'm afraid of is Chucky and killer clowns.
Is what?
Chucky and killer clowns.
Were you afraid of the Jumbies?
Not really. It's kind of spooky, but not that much.
Other legends that I hear is way more scarier than that. So at first I was it was a little creepy, and then I got used to it, and it's not really scary now.
I was scared just a little bit about the Jumbies because I thought it was real. And then when I kept going on, it started to be fine, and I started to not be scared anymore.
I was scared at the beginning of how it started, and now I kind of liked it because it was scary, and that made me just wanted to read more.
Did the book remind you of anything else you've read?
This reminds me of like the Indians and the Pilgrims when the Pilgrims came to Indians Island. Like the people came into the Jumbies Island. That's why they sing.
It reminds me of something in the real world when my dad bought me something, and I was playing, and then my brother came in and took it away and started playing with it. It reminds me like from that story because my brother is the humans and I'm the Jumbie, and then he takes it away from me.
Writer Tracey Baptiste joins us. So, Tracey, how old were you when you first learned about Jumbies?
Probably like 3. People talk about Jumbies all the time in Trinidad because it could be anybody. It literally could be anybody walking down the street at any time could be a Jumbie. You just never know. It's just part of the regular dialogue of the country that people talk about growing up. And telling stories about them usually happened at night, but it was always in this kind of, kidding kind of way, but mostly like, all right, kids, you need to stay close to home. You need to stay close to the adults. We don't want you to wander off too far. It was always that sort of thing, which I guess we sort of understood, but at the same time, in the event that maybe they were real, there were all kinds of precautions that we would take to make sure that, nobody got left behind and eaten by a Jumbie. Most Trinidadians, even now, I think as adults, if somebody calls their name at night, they'll say, did somebody call me, rather than just answering, because that's what you do. Because if a Jumbie calls your name, they can't answer that question. Another thing that we used to do all the time was when we came home late at night, my mother would have us back into the house. So we would get to the front door, open the front door, and then we'd all turn around and back in. Because a Jumbie can't follow you in front of your face, they have to follow you at your back. And that was just something that we always did. It wasn't even, she wouldn't even say anything, really. She would get home, open the door, and then we would all just automatically turn around and back in.
How did you give yourself permission to take a traditional folk tale and make it your own?
I found this anthology of children's stories. Actually, I have it on my desk, on my bookshelf someplace. Hold on. Literally this book. I picked this book up when I was in college because I really loved fairy tales. And so I was forever collecting fairy tales. And in it, there's a Haitian folk tale called The Magic Orange Tree. And it was a Cinderella story that was unlike other Cinderella stories that I had ever seen, because in this particular version of the, Cinderella trope, the girl saves herself, which I really enjoyed. And I thought, maybe this was a way for me to place those creatures, the Jumbies, that I had always been hearing about when I was a kid. And so I kind of mashed together Trinidadian and Haitian folklore. And so I felt that maybe that would be more forgiving, because it's clear that it's not clearly Haitian, it's not clearly Trinidadian. It really is my own invention. But mostly I was just trying to see how much I could get away with without getting into trouble.
Well, what makes a scary book? What makes a good scary book?
With kind of scary creatures.
Adventures.
Creepy people that people love.
Creepy places, creepy words.
We like to end every show by asking one question, which is, what is your favorite book?
Or was the Alcatraz?
Why do you like that book?
It's scary, spooky, and it has ghosts.
My favorite book is Die on One Kid, the Dog Days, because it makes me laugh when I drink milk. The milk comes out of my nose.
Diary of the Wimpy Kid, Golden Cavern. I like that because it shows a lot of things about life.
I liked a book we just read in class that it's called The Witches. It's one of my favorite books, and it's kind of scary too when the witches take off their mask and everything. When we saw the movie and everything, it was so scary. It gives me the goosebumps.
Which is scarier, movies or books?
Movies.
I think movies because it like shows more things, and in some books it doesn't show pictures. It only shows words. And in the movies it shows like everywhere they move or anything they do.
I say movies because I say books because it says words and it's way more creepier than the movies. In books, it also shows you pictures and you could take an inference what's gonna happen next without seeing the picture and imagine it in your head. And movies, you just see it and lay down, but in books, you could be anywhere you want.
I think both are good because in books you can imagine it, and then in movies what you imagine is like way worse, or it can be way better.
What about you, Tracey Baptiste? What is your favorite book?
I will tell you what my favorite book is right now. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. I think, prior to this, I read a lot of adult novels, and Gabriel Garcia Marquez is probably one of my favorite authors in all the world. There is this one, No One Writes the Colonel, and I really do quite like it because it is so weird, and I really like weird stuff, like a lot. Just his turns of phrase, the way that he approaches things, what he dares to do, the kinds of things that he dares to try to get away with is kind of fantastic.
Got a favorite book, Tamika Katon-Donegal?
One of my all-time favorite books is Me Talk Pretty One Day by David Sedaris. So funny.
We'll have a list of everybody's favorite book at our website, bookclubforkids.org. And if you have a favorite book, you can be on the Book Club for Kids podcast too. All you have to do is have your teacher, parent, or librarian send us an email, and we will send out all the information. The email is kitty@bookclubforkids.org. That's KITTY at bookclubforkids.org. This episode is funded in part by the D.C. Commission on the Arts and Humanities, an agency supported in part by the National Endowment for the Arts and by listeners like you. Thanks this week to Jonathan Jensen, who composed and performed our music, and to Emma Steinkellner, who designed our logo. And thanks to our readers this week, Brianna, Gloria, Salvador, and Giovanni, and of course their teacher at Cienega Elementary School, Tracy King. And thanks as well to writer Tracey Baptiste and our celebrity reader, Tamika Katon-Donegal. We have a free newsletter for teachers, parents, and librarians full of free tips about how to turn kids into lifelong readers. You can sign up at our website, bookclubforkids.org. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even Pinterest. And if you're an Apple person, please leave us a rating and a review at Apple Podcasts. And by the way, teachers, writing reviews is a terrific assignment for your kids. Besides, we love to hear from you. I'm Kitty Felde. Thanks again for listening.